G'day folks, Lord Reags with you, and I just want to give a little support to ScoMo and the Coalition Government of Australia. We have a vote this Saturday. It's May 18th. If you haven't already voted and you're not going to be around on May 18, get out and pre-vote. And I know the Labor people, they have a saying, vote once and vote often. Well, let's not do that. Let's be ethical people, because our diggers died in battle so we could have freedom and the right to vote. So let's not squander the right to vote. Let's make full use of it, and don't draw silly scribbles on the ballot form. If you really don't want to vote, just tick your name off and turn around, don't vote at all. But it's your prerogative. But I would urge you, in this year especially, we need a stable government. We do need a conservative government in Australia. And whatever you do, if you're going to vote Conservative, vote for the Liberal National Party first, and put Labor dead last, or actually second last, with the Greens last, because they're just a bunch of nonsensical nincompoops. In terms of, for those who are sympathetic towards Pauline, include her in the mix, maybe down 4th or 5th. And Clive Palmer, I'm a bit upset with him because he as far as I've heard, he hasn't paid that $7 million to his workers. So you can kick him in the pants too, even though some of his preferences will, unfortunately, go to the coalition. So it's sort of like the lesser of two evils. If you want to return ScoMo as Prime Minister and have a coalition government, they're doing a great job. They've got us out of a terrible deficit under Labor. We're now in surplus. Let's protect that surplus. Let's not be silly. Don't just punish a government simply because you think, oh, I'll give the other mob a turn. It's their go. That's no way of voting. You know, that's dumb. So do the right thing by our diggers. Think about the diggers when you go into the polling booth, and be grateful that we live in a wonderful country. I mean, how would you like voting in Syria or Afghanistan right now? Dreadful. Or Libya. I mean, we are the luckiest country on earth. So let's think about that and be grateful when you go into the polling booth, and smile at those people who've given up their day to work in the polling booths. Don't give them a hard time. Be polite and recycle the how to vote forms. Give them back to those nice people who are greeting you on arrival, like sharks to blood, and recycle those forms. Anyway, that's enough from me. I have always been an objective news journalist. I've covered so many elections, but this time I'm being partisan, and unashamedly so. I'm nailing my colours to the mast. Most of you know I'm conservative anyway, because I do support Trump, because I support democracy. And I support democracy because those stupid Democrats over in the States are they're just conspiring to unseat a duly elected president, and that is just a big rort over there, and they're going to be found out in a big way, and heads are going to roll. But anyway, if you do like Trump, it's another reason to vote for the Conservatives too, because the silent majority will give a bum steer to those people ringing up for polling questions. So just continue giving them a bum steer, because we know who is the best to lead Australia in from May 18 onwards, and it's ScoMo. He's got a good team underneath him. Could have been even stronger. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very close, and I do hope that if you live in Tony Abbott's electorate, please do the right thing and return Tony. He has been a pain in the arse, an absolute pain in the arse, but his heart is in the right place. He works very hard for his local constituents, and he's a good Australian. He gives up his time to fight fires. He gives up his time to do so many different things. And at the end of the day, make sure you put Miss Stegall, who I like as a human being. I think she's lovely, but put her last on the ballot. Thank you very much for listening to Lord Reags for election 219 in Australia.